Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Martin Wonders 01. Thanks for the suggestion, Martin. You asked, how do air purifiers clean the air? Well, if you've ever walked into a room and thought, wow, is this oxygen? Or just recycled pet dander and bad decisions? This one's for you. Air purifiers have become household heroes, silently battling against airborne invaders like dust, smoke, and that suspicious smell you swear isn't coming from you. But how do these machines work, and are they as powerful as they claim to be? Buckle up, because we're about to break down how these futuristic air-scrubbing machines work, right here on Explaining Everything. Before we talk about how air purifiers work, let's take a moment to appreciate the nightmare fuel floating around us. Your air is basically a microscopic version of a trashy reality show. Dust, smoke, pet dander, pollen, bacteria, viruses, and even tiny particles of outdoor pollution that somehow sneak inside like an uninvited guest. And if you think your house is clean, let me introduce you to the concept of invisible disappointment. And let's not forget the mystery particles. You know, the ones you see floating in a sunbeam but have no idea what they are. Could be lint, could be skin flakes, could be the ghost of every snack you've ever eaten in that room. The truth is, unless you're living in a sterile laboratory, your air is a buffet for dust mites and an all-you-can-breathe special of microscopic weirdness. All right, let's meet our champion, the air purifier. These bad boys work by sucking in dirty air, trapping all the nasties, and then releasing clean, fresh air, kind of like nature's version of mouthwash for your lungs. But how do they do it? Glad you asked. There are several types of air purifiers, each with their special skills. Let's break them down, like an over-caffeinated science teacher. First up, we have HEPA filters. These are like microscopic nightclub bouncers. They trap 99.97% of airborne particles as small as 0.3 microns. That means no pollen, no dust mites, no pet dander, just clean, VIP-level air. Next, we've got activated carbon filters. These are like the air purifier's odor-eliminating ninjas, absorbing smoke, gases, and weird smells like last night's fish dinner that refuses to leave. If your air purifier has one of these, congratulations! Your house officially smells less like regret. UV light technology is for those who want to make their air sterile. These purifiers use ultraviolet rays to zap bacteria, viruses, and other tiny troublemakers. It's a microscopic horror movie for germs. Then we have ionizers. These guys release negatively charged ions into the air, which attach to pollutants and make them too heavy to float around. They just fall to the floor like defeated villains. Is it high-tech? Yes. Do you still have to vacuum up the fallen particles? Also, yes. Science giveth, and science taketh away. And finally, we have ozone generators. These claim to clean the air by producing ozone, which reacts with pollutants. Sounds great, right? Well, too much ozone can irritate your lungs. So unless you're aiming for a DIY science experiment on breathing difficulties, maybe stick to HEPA filters instead. At this point, you might be wondering, do I need an air purifier, or am I just being fancy? Well, if you have allergies, pets, live in a city, or just don't like the idea of inhaling a microscopic jungle of pollutants, an air purifier might be your new best friend. Plus, if you ever needed an excuse to justify a new home gadget purchase, just tell your friends, it's for my health. Works every time. And hey, if nothing else, an air purifier makes you feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie where the air is so clean it glows. It's like having a tiny, silent superhero working 24/7 to make sure you're not inhaling yesterday's lunch particles. So, do air purifiers work? Yes. They can significantly reduce airborne pollutants and help you breathe more easily. But they're not magic. If your home is dirty, don't expect an air purifier to fight that battle alone. You still gotta clean. Think of air purifiers like sidekicks. They're amazing, but they work best when you do your part too. So keep your home clean, vacuum regularly, and maybe, just maybe, stop letting your dog roll around on your bed like it pays rent. At the end of the day, an air purifier is like a gym membership. You get the most out of it when you use it right. So if you've invested in one, make sure to clean the filters, place them in the right spot, and let it do its thing. Nothing says, I care about my lungs, like owning a machine that works harder than most people on a Monday morning. And that's the magic of air purifiers. Whether you're battling allergies, fighting off funky smells, or just want to breathe like a fresh mountain breeze without leaving your couch, these little machines are here to help. Now go forth, my fresh air-loving friend, and purify like a pro. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.